Okay, so this is summarising data example 3. You need to make sure that you've read page 4 before you do this example, because there's a particular rule that we need to use when we're doing Excel exam papers that may be a little bit different to what you've used at school. So it is really, really crucial that you read the rule. The rule says work out value n over 2. If it's an integer, a whole number, take the mean of this value and the one above. If it's not an integer, round up and use that term as the mean. So make sure you've got page 4 in front of you when you're doing these calculations. Now the median is the middle value, but we can't just leave it in this unusual order here. We have to put the numbers into the correct order. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there are 2 8s. Just count up and make sure you've included all the values. So put them into ascending order. The rule says work out n over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. N is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. 3.5 is not an integer. So we use the second part of the rule. It says if it's not an integer, round up and use that term as the median. So we're going to round up to the next whole number. You always round up, even if this, when we come to do quartiles, we might have 3.25. You still round up. That's the rule that Excel like to use. There's other rules. Some textbooks will say one thing, some textbooks will say another. There is a bit of a variance in terms of how statistics are calculated, but for Excel, this is the rule we use. So even if this was 3.25, we'd still round up, which is quite unusual in mathematics. So we're after the fourth value. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the median is 5 for that set of data. And actually, you could probably tell that by counting in from each end. You could probably see that that one was in the middle. Okay, next one. Write them out in order again. 13, 22, 26. I think we have another 26, 27, 29, 30. I think there are two 32s and a 48. Again, check that you've got them all. Now, if you count them up, there are 10 values here. So n over 2 is 10 over 2, which is 5. Now, that doesn't mean that the median is 5, obviously, because if you look at that data, there aren't any 5s. The middle number is obviously not 5. It means fifth. However, look at the rule on page 4. If it is an integer, when you work out n over 2, which this one is, you take the mean of this one and the one above. So we're going to add together the fifth, add the sixth, and we're going to half it. That's how you work out the mean. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're after 27 and 29. Add them together and half it. Don't think we need to be a genius to know that the mean of those two will be 28. So there's an example both ways there. If it's not an integer, round up. If it is an integer, do that value and the one above, add them together and half it. And that's exactly the same rule you will have done at school, but it's just expressed slightly differently. So try and make sure you learn that rule on page 4 and practice lots of those examples.